Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. There we go. So good to be here. Thanks for joining me on the Open Journal. Back this Wednesday after last week's, we got together on Tuesday. So I'm so happy to be here. My name, if this is the first time that you've been here, is Meg Williams, and I am a sacred pleasure and embodiment coach. And I love it. And I love being here and I love talking about it with you. It's truly, honestly, I've had so many conversations coming up with people recently, and it literally just makes things so exciting. So, every one of you who I've been connecting with and who has been coming forward with questions and where we've gotten to go into discussions around um, sacred sexuality and just sacred practices and what it means and how we got away from them and how we're coming back to them is just, it's such a pleasure and a delight. And I'm going to speak into that a little bit today. So, the reason I am here doing what I do, this is my absolute soul mission. This is what I'm here to work with people for. I've been a teacher for, oh my gosh, since I was 21, 22 years old, but I mean, I was a babysitter and a tutor and a nanny before all that. So I've been a teacher my whole life. And I never thought that this was what I was going to be teaching. But as we go through things and as we experience, right, because we can gain so much knowledge, but what does it mean if we're never using it? We're never applying it. And so it's often through our experience, where we really find ourselves on our path and where we also really find our own innate skills and capacity in ways which we are able to help and support others because you've helped and supported yourself. And so this was what I had found, really in my marriage. I didn't realize this was happening until there was a triggering situation that I encountered and it really knocked me out. And my husband was so incredible and he was so supportive, but it was my own personal journey. And I thought, wow, why is this such a trigger? Why do I feel so broken right now? And it actually brought light to me that there was this whole beautiful facet, right? Like every single one of you, we're all these beautiful gems in our own being. And we just, the way a gem is cut with all those different fractals, this is literally how every single one of us radiates. And there was a whole fractal of me that was just not present, and I thought, why is she missing? Why is she hiding? Why can't she be here? Because I know she's going to bring so much color and life to my world, for me, for my husband, for my children. And so I went into the journey of sacred sexuality because I held a lot of shame and I held a lot of judgment. And my whole life, there was just an element of discomfort around just even talking about it. Does anybody else know what I mean? Like this, why is there so much discomfort around something that's the most beautiful thing that we can experience? And so there was a lot of empty space where there was just a lot of things that I wasn't understanding, where I couldn't fill in those gaps, where I couldn't fill in those questions. And and as I went through this journey, I started to learn a lot. So I was learning a lot from my mentors. And I also began to develop a really spiritual connection with Mary Magdalene, who, through embodiment practices of my own, I was gaining deeper levels of wisdom as to this is truly an embodiment of a highest level of pleasure, happiness, and joy. This is another way of which you are, it was like, Meg, this is another way that you are connecting to divinity, and gaining access to this creative energy that's going to move me forward in my life. And so I really realized at the extent to which sex and sexuality has really been misunderstood in society. Everything that I was wondering, everything that I had questions around was all of a sudden making a lot more sense. And it lit that fire in me. Like it was just like I was hungry for it. You know, I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Sacred Embrace of Jesus and Mary. And it's all about um, the theological history behind their story, the things we didn't know. It's like I'm like going through the truth of this is what true Christianity was. And it's not what we've known, guys. It's not what we've known. And I'm not even, I didn't grow up going to church, but I sure understood the stories. I understood the references. Um, I did always believe, just from what I had received, that Mary was this penitent whore. That was just my vision, and now I get to see these, you know, through my spiritual connection, what a healer she is. And you know, in a lot of the readings that I've done, how she gets to be this disciple to the disciples, and that she truly was the sacred partner of Yeshua. So this is a whole new world for me, and I think this is part of the journey when all of us comes to something where we're discovering something, when we're uncovering something, when deep, resounding understanding comes into our field, what it feels like. You can feel it in your solar plexus, that fire start to light up, your heart start to go like this. This is what I want more of. And so this is what I want to speak about today, is how all of these practices, sacred sexuality, but meditation, um, space to breathe, getting out in nature, exercise, doing things that feel good, doing things that make you feel healthy, doing things that make you feel vital, the importance of them, because we are a human body, right? We are physical, we are here in this world. And but we have so much more to us. Again, you know, like I was just saying, picturing us that we're these beautiful gems, right? With just all these beautiful fractals of light that we radiate out into the world. And you know, we aren't just one thing. We are not just one thing in this lifetime. We're constantly evolving. That's the whole point of it. And that's the whole point of it. And you chose to come here and be in this body, right? You chose to be here. So why do we resist all of these different pieces of our humanity? There's no time or space for this anymore. And so in this knowing that we are here in this physical body, there's no way to escape that. There is one way, but do you really want that? Because you chose to be here, because there's such incredible, immense beauty to be here, to be experienced in this world. So it's all about here. And I love this with pleasure, because we can look at, so we have the physical body, we have the the mind, body, spirit, right? So sorry, let's say body, soul, and spirit. So the body holds it all, the soul leads us, and our spirit is this divine connection. So when we're in this body, the thing about being a sacred pleasure coach is the pleasure is the ways in which in our flesh and in our skin and our bones and the cells of our body, the way that we get to experience God, source, the universe streaming through our body. So pleasure is how we experience that. And then happiness is the way in which we get to experience it in our soul, right? When something makes us feel really happy, it's just that, it's like that magnetic alignment of more of this. And then we have joy, which is the highest extent in which we feel spirit, feel that God presence, that universal presence radiating through our spirit, right? This is like when our auric field is just like fully lit, and we are just the full radiant human being that we're here to be. So there's all these different ranges in which we get to experience the deliciousness of humanity, the deliciousness of this life that we are here to live. So all of these practices are the ways in which we are able to stop resisting, right? To come out of that pain body, to come out of suffering, to come out of worry and fear and doubt. And these practices bring us into the experience of pleasure, happiness, joy in our mind, or sorry, in our body, in our soul, in our spirit. And you're the only one who has control over that. That's the coolest thing, right? I can't make you do it. The people in all those books that you read, they can't make you do it. They can bring you that knowing. They can bring you that awareness, but in terms of embodying it into physicality, you're the only one. And that's the exciting part. Like you're the one in control. This is in your sovereignty and your self-responsibility. How deeply do you want to experience life? So I'm going to share just a card reading and then a practice, one that one of my favorite mentors, while I was going through this process, I read the book Mary Magdalene Revealed, and it's by Megan Watterson, and she's absolutely, it was a full-on activation. You'll hear me reference a lot of the things and the deep wisdom in my knowing was just sparked back to life. These things that I knew, it's gnosis, this word of, it's this form of knowledge that we can't get. You know, I received knowledge and awareness through reading this, but in that knowledge, it came back to a knowing that I felt in the DNA structure of my being, right? It was just, it's the lifetimes past that I've lived where I know this to be true. So gnosis is just, and again, all these practices are one more way to come back to that, right? Because you are the only one who knows it. You are it for your own unique and individual expression in this lifetime. You're the only person who knows that deep gnosis, that knowing, that wisdom that you are here to remember. So I'm just going to share the cards I pulled, and then we'll go through a breath practice. This is one that Megan Watterson has shared in the teachings of hers that I've attended. So I pulled 3 cards. This is from the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is one of my favorite decks, and I always pull 3, and it kind of reads as past, present, future. So the first one was Treasure Island. If you guys are watching these, you're going to see I really don't pull a lot of different cards. I don't know how it happens. Anyone else, share in the comments if this happens to you when you just pull, it's like you're always pulling the same cards. So Treasure Island, which I love because you are a treasure, and your treasure is there for only you to unbury, for you to open, right? You are this treasure chest just full, brimming with treasures to be shared and gifted in this world, and you get to be the one to unlock that treasure chest and bring it to the light. So Treasure Island was the first one, and then Time to Go, which is exciting and really relevant to the energies going on right now. And then the last one was Thinker. So Treasure Island is essentially, that's how I look at it, is your treasures are there for you to, they're there for you right now, which, like I said, you are. Actually, I love this. When I was like my daughter's age, I was in, I'm going to guess, my memory of it was when I was in the playground in grade 1 or 2, but I had a dream one night, and I found a treasure chest, and I opened, and it was like full of riches, all gold and jewels. And then I woke up, and it was like, oh my God, I had this massive treasure chest. And it's now just as through my practices this in my last breathwork session, and I'm teaching one just after this in my group, The Pleasure Prophecy. So hop over there if you can and join me. But it was through one of my last breathwork journeys where that memory came back, and it was just simply that. It was like at that age, just it was being revealed to me that you have this treasure chest, Meg, to uncap, and all these riches to bring forth. And this is every one of us. This is the truth of all of us. So this is the Treasure Island. It's here for you right now. And then the Time to Go is that time is up. Okay, so whatever chapter you have been moving through, it is over now. The next has not quite yet begun, but just, taking a look at the past, whatever the past phase in your life has been, the past chapter, and what have you really taken away from that? What is there for you to receive, and what can you close that chapter on as you step into the next one? And I love this because the Lion's Gate, so the 8-8 portal is coming up, August 8-8. And also in the Mayan calendar, we're switching into a new season, kind of a good way to think of it. So how I think of it, as we're closing, as we're coming to a close of things, it's like almost like just like this vortexing energy. So I feel like if you've been feeling things that are really like things that have been chaotic or messy or a little bit wild, it's just like that vortexing energy of coming to the end of like one tube, one tunnel. And as you, it's like, or the hourglass, right? Like as it just flurries right through the bottom till it hits that 0 point. And then we flip to the next chapter where it's just this new fullness or emptiness, however you want to look at it, waiting for you to step into it. And then the last one was thinker. And this is that at this point in time, so going forward, it has to do everything. Strategy and using logic right now is going to be really handy. So, it's not thinking too deeply into things. Things are really how you see them. So witnessing opportunities, messages, coincidences, synchronicities that are coming into your presence and seeing them for face value, using logic, using strategy, not going too deep into it. So before we leave, what I would love to do is just come through this soul voice meditation, and we're just going to do it really, really short. Can do it for a little bit longer on that second breath. What I've been tending to do is really going, like 5, 10. You could do it a little bit longer in terms of minutes to allow the message, the soul voice, to come through. But we're just gonna anchor together today, and then I'm gonna head off to my breathwork session. And again, if anyone can come and join me in the pleasure prophecy, I'd love to have you there. We're gonna connect with the voice of the inner priestess. So it's 3 breaths, and the first one is just to really come into the heart space. Right, we move through this life anchored in the heart. So if you can start every day, close every day, coming back, multiple times through the day, coming back to the space of the heart, we move through this world with love. That's the truest way that we can engage in any moment. So we're going to anchor into the heart, and then in the next breath, the second breath, will come into the soul, anchor through the heart into the soul, really listening for that voice, that message that your deep inner wisdom wants you to receive today. And then on the last breath, we will anchor that down into Gaia with gratitude, and anchor that into the womb and the root chakra. All right, so we'll close your eyes if that feels good for you. You can bring your hands to your knees, palms down or palms open. Relaxing the whole body, active through the crown, knowing that you are open and receptive to receive any guidance and wisdom that your angels, guardians, cosmic family, ancestors are here to support you in receiving any of this wisdom that is here to guide you forward in your highest and greatest good. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, allowing that to sink and settle into the heart space. Feeling that connection with the body. I am here now. I am present. I am aware. I am a glorious human being who is here to move through this world with love. And next breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, letting that settle into the heart and bringing that all the way down into the belly space, that space of the solar plexus. You might hear my dog snoring in the background. And just asking for that deep wisdom of those guides, those guardians, that inner wise woman, wise man, that inner wise soul, that wisdom that is here to be revealed for you. And just simply asking that, what is it that I know? What wisdom can I receive? What will support me as I move forward in alignment in this beautiful life, on this path I walk? And again, not going too deep into it, whatever message first comes to you, this is your intuition speaking and connecting to you. Receiving that. And last breath in through the nose. And with the exhale, letting that settle through the entire body with grace and gratitude and honor and reverence. Letting that gratitude spread through the entire body, expanding into the heart, the solar plexus, anchoring down into the womb, base of the tailbone, every cell of your body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. So I thank you so much for being here today, and journal anything that came through. And I'm sending you so much love and so much honor for your practice. And I hope to see you here next Wednesday. Take care. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy.